Forget everything Hollywood taught you about the Velociraptor. The real animal wasn't a 6-foot monster. It was a feathered, turkey-sized assassin, armed with a terrifying weapon that science didn't fully understand. Until they found this. A single fossil that captured a life-or-death struggle, solving a decades-old mystery and revealing the brutal, tactical truth of how this predator really hunted. The sun beats down on a world of rust-colored sand. Your eyes squint against the glare, scanning an endless expanse of dunes sculpted by a wind that hasn't stopped blowing for 1,000 years. Above, a lone pterosaur traces a lazy circle in the hazy, white sky. The air is thin, dry, and carries the scent of dust and hardy, scrub-like plants clinging to life in this arid basin. This is a quiet place, but it is not a peaceful one. Every shadow could hide a threat. Every gust of wind could carry the scent of a predator. Ever wonder what it truly felt like to stand on the shifting sands of a lost world? Not as a visitor, but as a resident fighting for your next breath. We'd love to hear where you're joining us from today, and which incredible creature from our planet's deep past captures your imagination the most. Let us know in the comments below. Now let's journey back in time and uncover the story of a lost world. You are standing in what will one day be called the Gobi Desert. Gobi Desert in Mongolia. But 75 million years ago, during the late Cretaceous period, it is known only to its inhabitants. It is a land of extremes. Life congregates around seasonal oases and ephemeral streams that carve temporary paths through the rock. In the distance, you see a small herd on the move. They are Protoceratops, stout, sheep-sized herbivores whose name means first horned face. A bit of a misnomer, as they lack true horns, but possess a powerful turtle-like beak and the beginnings of a magnificent bony frill around the neck. They trudge onward, their four-legged gait steady and purposeful, their beaks occasionally snipping at the tough, low-lying vegetation. From a ridge of crimson rock, you spot another shape. It is low to the ground, a wiry frame of muscle and intellect, cloaked in a coat of simple feathers that offer insulation from the brutal sun and chilly nights. This is Velociraptor. Forget the oversized, scaly monsters of Hollywood. The real animal is about the size of a large turkey, a lithe and formidable predator. Its name, Swift Caesar, perfectly captures its essence. It watches the herd with an unnerving stillness, its head cocked. It isn't just seeing prey. It is assessing, waiting, selecting a target. In this harsh environment, every hunt is a gamble. An injury could mean starvation. A failed ambush is a colossal waste of precious energy. The hunter must be certain. Today, its gaze settles on a lone Protoceratops that has strayed just a few fatal feet from the safety of its group. The silent, ancient stage is set. Let's look closer at the intended meal. The Protoceratops is built low to the ground, a four-legged fortress of muscle and bone. Weighing around 400 pounds, it's no gentle giant. It's a compact and powerful animal, perfectly adapted to its environment. Its most prominent feature is its head. The massive beak, devoid of teeth at the front, is a formidable piece of biological engineering, capable of delivering a bone-crushing bite with the force of a hydraulic press. It can snip through the toughest cycads and desert plants like garden shears through a twig. But it's also a weapon. Any predator foolish enough to get too close would find a limb trapped in a vise from which there is no escape. Rising from the back of its skull is that solid shield of bone, the frill. It serves as a defensive plate, protecting its neck from an attack from above, and also as a massive anchor point for the powerful jaw muscles that give its beak such incredible force. This is a creature designed to withstand a siege. Now shift your gaze back to the hunter. The Velociraptor begins its silent approach, and you can see how reality diverges from myth. This creature is not a scaly, 6-foot-tall monster. It stands barely 2 feet high at the hip, a sleek and wiry animal whose body is almost entirely hidden beneath a coat of feathers. Some are simple filaments for warmth, while others on its arms and tail might be longer and more complex, perhaps used for balance or display. Hollywood certainly took some liberties, but the truth is a more fascinating bird-like killer. Its bones are hollow, its body built for explosive speed. The long, rigid tail acts as a dynamic stabilizer, allowing it to make hairpin turns without losing momentum. Its hands are equally impressive, with 3 long, grasping fingers tipped with sharp claws, designed for holding onto struggling prey. But its most famous weapon is held aloft, away from the grit of the sand. On the second toe of each foot is a single enlarged talon, a wickedly curved sickle claw, nearly 3 inches long. This isn't a tool for disemboweling prey with a single kick. The science suggests a more precise, terrifying purpose. It is a grappling hook, a climbing pick designed to puncture hide and anchor the hunter to its much larger, much stronger victim. You are witnessing a perfect example of an evolutionary arms race. The herbivore's thick hide, powerful bite, and bony shield against the carnivore's speed, intelligence, and specialized weaponry. The irresistible force is about to meet the immovable object. The stillness shatters. In a heartbeat, the Velociraptor closes the distance, a low-slung blur of feathered motion against the red sand. It doesn't charge head-on, that would be suicide. Instead, it uses its incredible agility to launch itself sideways, springing into the air with breathtaking power. For a split second, it seems to hang suspended, a feathered arrow aimed at the flank of the much larger animal. Then comes the impact. You hear a startled grunt from the Protoceratops as the raptor slams into its side. The raptor's hands, with their sharp claws, immediately grapple for purchase on the thick, pebbled hide, while its jaws snap at the fleshy neck. Simultaneously, the sickle claw on its right foot lashes out. The 3-inch talon, held sharp for this very moment, plunges deep into the throat of the Protoceratops. The claw's purpose is now terrifyingly clear. It's an anchor, a pivot point. The Velociraptor is now physically attached to its prey, a nightmarish parasite it cannot shake. The herbivore panics, bucking and twisting with immense strength, trying to throw the predator from its back. It is a chaotic dance of survival, churning the sand into a cloud of dust. The hunter clings on, its entire body a weapon, trying to maintain its grip and deliver a final, killing bite. But the Protoceratops is not a helpless victim. It is a cornered, wounded animal fighting with the fury of desperation. As it thrashes, it twists its powerful neck and brings its own devastating weapon to bear. The raptor, focused on its attack, makes a fatal error, bringing its right arm too close to that formidable beak. In a flash, the herbivore lunges and bites down. You hear a sickening crunch as the beak, designed to shear through thick branches, crushes the delicate bones of the predator's forearm. A high-pitched shriek of agony cuts through the air. And just like that, the dynamic changes. The hunter is now the hunted, its arm trapped in a crushing vice. They are locked in a deadly stalemate. The Velociraptor's sickle claw is still embedded in the neck of the Protoceratops, preventing it from pulling away. The Protoceratops's beak is clamped around the raptor's arm, ensuring it cannot escape. They are a single, writhing entity of attack and defense. Predator and prey fuse together in their final, desperate moments. Neither can land a killing blow. Neither can break free. They are locked in their fatal embrace, bleeding, exhausted, but neither willing to yield. The outcome of their duel hangs on a razor's edge, but as they struggle, kicking up clouds of dust at the base of a large, steep sand dune, they are oblivious to a far greater danger. You feel a change in the air. The relentless wind that has been sculpting this landscape for millennia begins to howl, whipping sand from the dune's high crest. Unseen by the combatants, a deep, resonant groan echoes from within the mountain of sand. Perhaps a recent seasonal rain has saturated its base, making it heavy and unstable, or perhaps the vibrations from their violent struggle are the final fatal trigger. A cascade of sand begins, a tiny whisper of movement that grows into a monstrous wave. The face of the dune seems to liquefy, sloughing off in a sudden, silent avalanche. It is not a slow trickle. It is a solid wall of earth, moving with the speed and force of a tidal wave. There is no time to react, no moment of recognition. 1 second, the Velociraptor and Protoceratops are locked in their primal conflict. The next, the world simply ends. The golden river of sand engulfs them completely, the immense weight pressing in from all sides, silencing their struggle in an instant. The sound of battle is replaced by the profound, muffled quiet of the deep earth. This geological catastrophe is also a scientific miracle. The sheer speed and pressure of the burial did something extraordinary. It froze them in time. Trapped under tons of sand, their bodies were held in that exact dynamic pose. The raptor's claw remains plunged into the herbivore's neck. The herbivore's beak is forever clamped on its attacker's arm. Scavengers, who would have otherwise scattered their bones across the desert within days, could never reach them. The fine sand, starved of oxygen, halted the process of decay almost immediately. As millions of years passed, water rich with minerals seeped through the sand, slowly replacing the organic material of their bones with stone. They were not just buried, they were cast in rock. The question of who might have won their fight became eternally irrelevant. The collapsing dune, in its impartial power, declared the contest a draw, creating a 1 in a billion snapshot of Cretaceous behavior. For 75 million years, they lie in perfect silence. Above their tomb, the world transforms. The seasons turn into millennia. The very continents drift across the face of the planet. A catastrophic asteroid strikes the Earth, and the long reign of the dinosaurs comes to a fiery, apocalyptic end. New forms of life rise to take their place. Ice ages grip the globe and then retreat. Humanity evolves, builds civilizations, and begins to look to the stars. Through all of this, the dueling pair remains locked in their stone embrace, a secret held tightly by the earth, waiting for the wind and erosion to once again bring them close to the light. That moment finally arrives in the summer of 1971. A Polish-Mongolian paleontological expedition is scouring the red rock formations of the Gobi, a place now famous for its incredible fossil riches. Under the relentless sun, a member of the team spots a telltale gleam of white bone emerging from the sandstone. Patiently, with brushes and fine tools, the team begins to excavate. The work is slow and delicate, but as more of the rock is cleared away, a sense of awe descends upon the camp. This is not just a random collection of bones. It is a complete velociraptor, its skeleton articulated and perfectly preserved. And then, they realize it is not alone. Entangled with it is another skeleton, that of a Protoceratops. They are not merely buried near each other. They are intertwined, frozen in the very act of combat. The discovery sent shockwaves through the world of paleontology. Nicknamed the Fighting Dinosaurs, this fossil was more than just a magnificent find. It was a Rosetta Stone for dinosaur behavior. For decades, scientists had debated the function of the Dromaeosaur's sickle claw. This fossil provided the answer. You could see the claw of the Velociraptor still positioned in the throat region of its prey, proving its use as a piercing, grappling weapon. It was the ultimate evidence that creatures like Velociraptor were not just scavengers, but audacious predators capable of tackling prey larger than themselves. It also cemented the emerging view of the dinosaur renaissance, that these were not slow, dim-witted reptiles, but active, dynamic, and complex animals. The fossil is a snapshot of a real event, a brutal ballet that tells us more about their lives than 1,000 isolated bones ever could. The journey from a sun-scorched Cretaceous dune to a modern museum display is one of almost unimaginable scale. A bridge built across an ocean of deep time. The Fighting Dinosaurs fossil allows us, for a moment, to stand on that bridge and peer back at a world that is profoundly alien, yet governed by the same fundamental rules of survival that shape life today. This single, breathtaking specimen, a 1 in a billion moment of violence, desperation, and geological chance, has become an icon of natural history. It is a silent stone testament to a struggle that ended in an instant, but will now echo for eternity. It serves as a profound reminder that beneath our feet, preserved within the planet's rocky pages, lie entire epics of life and loss, stories of a world that is gone, but thanks to these incredible discoveries, will never be truly forgotten.